Samuel L. Jackson is a badass, a national treasure, and Nick Fury in that order. However, he's also famous for playing Mace Windu, a character who is, in his own words, the baddest Jedi in the galaxy next to Yoda. As such, Jackson was very insistent that this character not die like some punk. For anyone who's watching a Star Wars video about Mace Windu and hasn't seen the prequel trilogy, something I wouldn't really give you any shit about because it's not great, Mace Windu is the self-described baddest Jedi in the galaxy, being a master of several unconventional fighting styles such as breaking bulletproof glass with his mind and punching robots to death with his bare hands. So have you seen the Clone Wars TV show? The TV show is pretty good, and the clip you'll have just used will have been of Mace Windu f***ing up like a group of super battle droids with his bare hands, which shows like how much of a badass he is. The thing I like about that though is it explains why General Grievous is so f***ed up in the third prequel movie. And it's just because he was taking the piss out of Mace Windu, and Mace Windu responds by just force grabbing his chest cavity and crushing it with his bare hands. Which is why, like, during the third movie, he's like proper wheezing.
Jedi scum.
All the time, because Mace Windu gets pissed off and just goes, hang on, I can kill things in my mind. Blah! Just gets it. And General Grievous is like, I didn't expect this. My job is hunting Jedi, and I didn't realise they could just do this. Which brings up the question, like, why doesn't everyone just do that? If you could just, like, go, blah, to the robots, why would you bother even fighting them? Well, I've heard that, yeah, it's a dark side technique to choke people. Even it's like one of the most useful techniques. It's like it instantly incapacitates your a human opponent from like a room away. It's like, oh no, but it hurts people. It's like, so does lopping their hand off with a lightsaber. Don't you think you'd rather just like lightly choke them just a little bit? And then when they give up and drop their weapon, you walk up and then like hold them up with your laser sword. It's like, no, I'm gonna cut the hand off. That's what a true Jedi would do. The one that always got me is that Obi-Wan leaves Anakin just lying on Mustafar, burning in agony. He's looking at him, burning to death on the ground, and thinks, you know what, it'd be evil to kill him, so I'm just gonna let him burn to death. Like, what's more evil? I don't really know, but I'm thinking like, it'd be more the Jedi thing to do right there would be to like mercifully end his suffering. Nothing short of a nuclear blast working in tandem with a honey badger could kill Mace Windu, and Samuel L. Jackson agreed, and made a personal request of George Lucas that, when he learned the character was going to die, please just don't make him die like some punk, which is a direct quote from Samuel L. Jackson, by the way. Mace Windu was going to die because all the Jedi die, because that's the plot of the original Star Wars movie. Samuel L. Jackson said, look, I understand Mace Windu, he's got to go, but just make sure he doesn't go out like some punk. And George Lucas is like, don't worry, Sam, I've got you covered. Which is why Mace Windu goes out in possibly the most metal way possible, being blasted at Mach 3 out of a 300-story window while being electrocuted by the most evil man in the universe after having his second favourite hand cut off by a sword made of lasers. You know the best bit about that scene as well? Because obviously you're putting a clip in of this. You might not have noticed it, but if you slow it down just enough, you'll notice that Mace Windu gets electrocuted so hard you can see his skeleton for a brief moment. If you pause it at just the right moment, he's like Mace Windu has just got a flaming skull. So he briefly turned into Ghost Rider before being launched out of the window and dying. If you're going to go down in the Star Wars universe, that's how you do it. Just for a moment, let's talk about which Jedi does go down most like a punk, because it's certainly not Mace Windu, because he's killed by Darth Vader, a bolt of lightning, and the Lord of the Sith working together, who blast him out of a window and let gravity do the rest. So they also needed a fundamental force of the universe to team up with them to take out this motherfucker motherfucker. My money is on one of the guys who dies during Order 66. And if you can find it, because me and my mate used to watch this movie. We was just like, watch this over and again, because there's one Jedi, and we couldn't believe it made it into the movie. After the clone troopers shoot him in the back, he's on the floor dead, and they shoot him a few more times. Like, even though they get blindsided, do you think they'd detect the automatic shift in the demeanour of the men who are supposed to be helping them? Because doesn't Yoda detect when all the Jedi die?
Yeah, Yoda senses it.
He goes down on his knees, oh my god. Surely his army of Jedi who can read minds suddenly detected, wait a minute, all the people who are on my side suddenly just had murder, death, kill, blast through their minds. Surely they heard that?
If we're not just talking about Jedi as well, Darth Maul.
Well, actually, no, Darth Maul doesn't die, technically. He comes back in the expanded universe. He gets robot legs.
He's officially back in the canon, though, because he's in the Clone Wars TV show.
There we go.
Not Clone Wars, he's in Rebels.
The rumors are true. Darth Maul lives.
Formerly Darth. Now just Maul.
So he does survive then?
He officially survives.
So he gets cut, he gets robot legs or something.
There's also that theory that Boba Fett survives because he appears in Battlefront 2. And that's meant to be canon.
No, it's not. You mean that one where you have Darth Vader and Rey running around the same battlefield? Yeah, that's canon.
You mean that one where Luke Skywalker can't appear unless you pay a load of money?
Nothing's more canon than Peck. Darth Vader, canonically, in all of the stories that he's in, he's the first one on the ground. He's boots on the ground. One of the reasons that all the clone troopers love him is that whenever we go to battle, Darth Vader's always right there. He's always on the front lines, and that's why all the clone troopers love him. It's he's a general, but when we go to battle, he's right next to you. And then in the Battlefront game, which is supposed to be super realistic to Star Wars, you can't get until you pay for him. He's just sat on the Death Star. I won't turn up till you earn enough money. It's no, canonically, Darth Vader would be there. He'd be the first one there. He should just be on the map anyway. Even if no one controls it, he should just be
first person to log into that map.
Just becomes Darth Vader because he's always up for a fight. He loves it. As you can gather from the fact Mace Windu had the most metal death in all of Star Wars, George Lucas was only too happy to placate Samuel L. Jackson, which is usually a good idea whether or not he's even working on your f***ing movie.
Master Windu, how pleasant of you to join us.
This party's over.
Do you actually like any of the Star Wars prequels?
No, I don't. The best thing that's come out of the prequels is prequel memes.
Oh, prequel memes.
Prequel memes are the best thing about those three movies. Speaking of the conversation we just had about Jedis who ate it the hardest, one of my favourite prequel memes is about that weird fish man who's sent to kill the Emperor. It's a reaction shot of his face when the Emperor jumps off the floor and goes, "Blah!" Just that face when you're sent to assassinate a 90-year-old man and the first thing he does is a 360 lightsaber no-scope combo.
Best prequel meme, I think you'll agree, right? I saw one pop up, which was, you know the bit when in Attack of the Clones when Padme falls out of the craft and Obi-Wan and Anakin are going ahead to fight Dooku. Yeah. There's a meme where it's Anakin saying, "I've got to go and save her," and Obi-Wan says, "But Anakin, she's covered in sand."
No, my favourite is the battle on Mustafar between Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's "You can't defeat me, Anakin. I purchased the High Ground DLC." My God, let's get into it. This can go at the end of the video. Star Wars Battlefront 2. What the f*** are you doing? Oh, I've never seen a video game get reamed as hard as this one. There are legislators in America quoting "It's a Trap" and calling it a glorified Star Wars gambling game. Apparently, the head of Disney called up the head of EA and was like, "What the f*** is going on? Why am I Googling Star Wars like I do every day and seeing that the news isn't overwhelmingly positive? Why am I seeing people call it a glorified gambling simulator? Sort this f***ing shit out." Have you seen some of the piss poor excuses that have come out of the mouths of the executives at EA in an attempt to try and quell the outrage? There's a great one where they said, "So why are the microtransactions impacting gameplay? Why could they not just be cosmetic like every other f***ing game out there?" He goes, "Well, we couldn't do that. Our hands were tied by Disney." Obviously, we can't affect the Star Wars canon. And then the quote is, nobody would want to play as a pink Darth Vader. You, I would love to play as a pink Darth Vader.
Everybody would play as a pink Darth Vader.
I would love to play as a Darth Vader with Go Faster stripes and bunny ears on him. That would be fucking amazing. So I get that the hands of Disney wouldn't want us to dick around with like their iconic characters. What's wrong with just getting bloody stormtroopers and changing all their armour? Or like the 85 million racers that exist in the cantina. It's like, oh, instead of having just a regular generic human head, you can be this from the background of the cantina scene. What's wrong with that? I'm sure their race is fighting in the rebel resistance, or a stormtrooper. It's like, oh, your stormtrooper is wearing different coloured armour. It's like, oh, where does he fight? He's a water stormtrooper, he's blue. Yeah. Now, what's the thing you told me about, like, something to do with YouTube? You follow this more than me, and this pissed me the off, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so without saying any names...
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, we don't start any YouTube drama.
But a lot of YouTubers have signed contracts, which means that they have to promote the game.
Not just promote the game, though. Promote it with almost... like, dangerous levels of enthusiasm.
We can't say this 100% because we haven't seen those contracts.
We don't know.
But they're not negative, despite the fact that
the reaction from people who've not signed those contracts being almost overwhelmingly negative, and even people who are positive about the game still criticise aspects of it. The people who seem to have signed these contracts seem unusually okay with the features that everybody else has a problem with. And the only difference is that they signed a contract with the company promoting it, saying that they'd do it.
The bit that's got me really irate.
And this pissed me off when you told me about it. I was angry at home. You ruined my bath. I was in the bath when you sent me that. I was like, for sake, it's pissing me off. I was listening to music, I was chilling, I was drinking a bottle of schnapps, and I get a message from you and I'm reading through it and go, fucking hell, these damn YouTubers.
So there's one YouTuber videos I watch, and he said in the video that he'd managed to not sign his contract before all the shit went down.
Yeah, what a fucking hero. I didn't blindly sign away my ability to offer critique of this product.
And then in the same video said, don't judge the others for having done the same.
Oh, don't judge these others. Don't judge, like, let's say we've not done any product placement on this. Like, we're drinking Pepsi now, that's because we had fucking Pepsi in the fridge. Like, if I came on and I just held up this can of Pepsi the entire time and went, hey guys, like...
Mace Windu had a lightsaber, guys.
Like, if he'd just give the Emperor a cool glass of Pepsi... Maybe this war would not. Do you know, like, who was it who did that video? There was that lady, wasn't there, who did the advert with Pepsi, where he's like, oh, Pepsi stops protests. And she got really pissed off about it. So if I came on and did that, and then you found out by clicking one of the many links in our description, oh, I'm actually being paid a shit ton by Pepsi, here's a link to our contract. In the contract it says, we can't shit on the brand, and you have to be, you have to be super positive, and you can't say anything negative. You'd be like, why the would I ever listen to your opinion? You're basically just a corporate mouthpiece at this point. Why are these YouTubers any f***ing different? It's like the same thing. It's a product. It's a video game, but it's a product that they've agreed to market and not be critical of. If you want to make money and you want to do that, that's fine. But if you sign away your ability to be critical of a piece of media, don't get up your own arse and angry when people call you out on the facts. Don't say, my hands are tied. It's like, you gave them the rope to do it and took the payment for it. It's no one's fault. I get it. I signed the contract. I didn't realise it was going to be bad at the time. So it'd be okay if the game was good. But at that point, you can't say, oh, I'm reviewing the game. Because you're not. You are advertising it. Yeah. And there's a difference between a review and an advertisement. You're not a reviewer. You are an advertiser. At that point, the second you sign away the ability to have complete and utter creative freedom over your interpretation of the product, you are not a reviewer. You are an advertiser. The idea, the audacity that they can be sat there going, I signed this contract and I thought the game would be good, and it's not good, and now I'm getting shit on for having to be positive about it. It's like, so it's okay if the game was good and the coverage you're giving is still artificially being massaged by the people who own it. Do you not think that is like ethically dubious? That you're like misleading the people who trust your opinion evidently enough to watch your review above the review of somebody else? Do you not think that you have an obligation as someone whose opinion people trust to make sure that opinion is your own and not influenced by someone who's got a vested profit-based interest in it being overwhelmingly positive? Fair play for making money in an industry that's at the moment dying on its arse, but at the same time, I will never fully trust your opinion on anything, because obviously it doesn't matter if you take the money once, like, would you take it again? It's like, oh no, this is my opinion. Like, how can I be sure? Because the nature of these contracts means you can't discuss them. So a lot of people sign these contracts. One thing in the contract is you can't discuss the nature of the contract or admit that it's a thing that exists. So how the f*** can you trust these people?
The bit that kept getting me really angry was the people in the comments saying it's not their fault. It's not their fault that EA dicked them over.
Fuck off, it's not their fault. It's like I handed them a loaded gun and they shot me with it. It's not my f***ing fault though.
Hello, I'm Patron.
And I'm Benjamin Fridman.
And here are today's top news headlines.
Success! The bioengineering company Mile High Farm D is the first company to successfully resurrect a goat.
New AI technology has been created called Seripol, which will make Shapinder much easier, which has a lot of people worried for their jobs.
The new world record for doing backflips over each other has been beaten by Liam and Aero QC.
Scientists Canon Plays Games has discovered a new alien race living on Mars.
Some very Jet Road headlines there. For a treat. Staying in.
I know, I'm feeling very binger today. It's very binger outside.
It is very binger outside. We know what else is binger? The weather. And we had Popsicle Tartin last week to present the weather, but this week we've got Karl.
I know, I'm looking forward to his rotoscope presentation.
Indeed I am. Over to you, Karl. I'm looking the wrong way.
Yes, so Karl here with the weather, and first of all I'd like to thank our station manager Andy Ellis for setting me up with this job. It is my first day, so apologies if I get anything wrong. And first you'll notice that we have a very, very warm week ahead of us, as you can probably tell from my face. And the first thing we're going to have is the small town of the Fez Wearer. Fortunately, yeah, you need to bust out the sunglasses and the factor 50. It's going to be very warm where you are now. And then following this warm front that we have going up to the top of the country, you know what else is hot on top and cool down bottom? That is Thani Saeed Al Ramathi. Following that, we're going to have some cooler weather coming in from the North Sea, as told by meteorologist Joshua Knapp and his wife Anna Gu. I'm sorry that I paired those two patrons together. They were just one after each other in the list. And then after that, I guess it's, we've got some cooler evenings coming ahead. As we heard from our friend in the Wales office, Jacob Ursenbach. Is that a Welsh name? And unfortunately for anybody up here in Scotland in the small town of Samuel Chester, the temperature is going to continue to rise. So I'd recommend that you don't go outside, which you should not be doing anyway because it's Scotland and it's sunny. Like, you're not used to that, are you? But thankfully towards the end of the week we will be dealing with some cooler temperatures. As you can see coming here, the wind front, also known as the Henan DOA Argov, that will result in the temperatures next week being a little bit more manageable. Over to you.
Thank you, Karl. The weather is always litigation-Santa Claus when you present.
I know, I'm feeling much more Jub 366 now, thanks.
That's the news. Brought to you by patrons. Nisha can't read lines, apparently.
I can't. Oh my god. I can't. There's been a breakthrough in technology where there's been a new, oh my god, fuck off! Especially in the news anchor style.
I also thought you were going to say the nude then. It's especially the nude.
I feel like I need to be the nude because it's fucking roasting.
It's so hot. Appreciate that we're doing this for you. Anyway, yes, thank you patrons. If you want your name read out in a silly way, join our Patreon. The link will be somewhere, probably on the end slide, maybe in the description.